All right. Let's do this. I think we're live. All right. Cheers, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This edition of the Real Estate Vault is going to be why buyers are winning in Vegas right now and what this means for your deals. Why buyers are winning in Vegas right now and what this means for your deals. You know what I love about Vegas? The house doesn't always win. How is that? So right now, in May of 2026, buyers are in this market and they are holding some of the best cards they've had in years. So if you're an agent and you're not capitalizing on that, you're leaving money on the table, and so are your clients. It seems like more people are starting to understand this is not your typical market. This is not your typical anything right now. And it's a great opportunity for buyers. I'm Rochelle with All About Real Estate LV. I'm your techy transaction coordinator out here in Las Vegas. Techy TC, automation manager. And today I'm going to break down exactly why you and your buyers are winning and what the data says and what this means for every single deal that you are running right now. So let me give you first a market snapshot. This is what the data says. Inventory, buyers finally have options, believe it or not. And I mean, they've had options, but they still really have options. 7,400 active single family listings in late April of 2026. This was up from 6,200 in May of 2025 and way up from the 2,800 in the 2022 year. So that is 4.6 months of supply all across Clark County, and that is a first balanced reading since early 2023. So the industry standard is under 3 months. That means it's a seller market. Over 6 is a buyer's market. 4.6 is like a balanced buyer market kind of leaning. So it's a very interesting time right now. It's been a very interesting time, as you all know. Median single family home sales prices are near $498,000 now in May. That is the median single price. April 2026 median was $473,875, which is actually down 1.3% from 1 year ago, but we'll have to see what happens. And 34% of sellers have reduced their asking price. 34% have reduced their asking prices. It's not a crash. It's not a crash. Okay? Don't listen. Don't look at everything you read, and you have to educate buyers and sellers on all this news junk that's out there. They've been saying the market's going to crash for how many years now? And it's a correction back to normal. As you know, we have had crazy markets for the last 5+ years. This is not, it hasn't been a normal market, and it's actually starting to correct back to more of a normal market. I don't think it's ever going to be normal, but who knows? So days on the market, houses are sitting longer. The median days on the market is 38 days as of May 2026, which is actually up from only 24 days in May of 2024. So houses are sitting on the market longer this year. Pre-2020 normal sitting on the market was 35 to 50 days. So we're actually back to a healthy market, not a broken market. 35 to 50 days was more the norm, and we have not been in the norm for a long time. So longer days on the market means anxious sellers, as you've probably been dealing with and I've seen. And also negotiating room, which is good for buyers and agents, but also if you are a listing agent on that side, which a lot of you are doing both, you have to educate yourself and also know how to negotiate with the sellers so the sellers can still get a good deal even in a buyer's market. So the basic thing for buyers right now we're focusing on. Buyers are winning because seller concessions are back. They've been back. 1 in 3 deals, like I said before, are showing seller concessions. And if they're not, 9 times out of 10, it's just because the agent probably didn't know to even ask for them. So 1 in 3 closings are including those seller concessions as of May. 40% of sellers nationally, this is nationally, not just in Vegas, plan to offer concessions in 2026. 40%. That's up from 30% in 2025. So that means that there's going to be closing cost credits on the table. Rate buy downs are being offered, especially in new construction, as I'm sure you've seen. Repair allowances and flexible closing timelines are available. Luxury sellers are offering credits, buy downs, and concessions, which is huge. And you as an agent need to know how to ask for these, but not, you don't want to ask for too much, you don't want to ask for too little. And it's a fine balance between asking price, concessions, rate buy, all this different stuff. So you need to know how to do that. Win number 2, negotiating power is back, because the homes that have been sitting 30 plus days means you probably got a motivated seller willing to deal. And if you don't, that house is probably going to be sitting there for much longer and eventually be taken off the market. So there's going to be second showings, no more same day or never pressure. You're going to have full inspections where the buyers actually have time to read the report and negotiate. You're going to have price reductions where buyers can offer under the list and still win. And it's not like it was before, where as an agent, you didn't really have to know much. There was all these bidding wars. You hope you got it. And then boom, you're done and you move on and that's it. But for now, we do not have that. Now, there have been some instances on homes under $500,000. It's not really a bidding war, but there have been multiple offers coming in lately. So keep that in mind too. But nationally, cancellations, this is nationally, cancellations have dropped to 13.4%. which is the lowest since September of 2024. So that's great news. And Redfin noted that more sellers have come to terms with the buyer's market and are increasingly willing to lower those prices and or provide concessions to keep these deals together. So deals are actually closing and sellers are more motivated to make it work. So what does this mean for your deals right now? This is where it gets really interesting, because in a buyer favorable market, it's a fantastic deal for volume, but it also creates way more complexity in each transaction. So more opportunity equals more moving parts. So you've got more concessions, which equals more addendums, which is more negotiations and terms that you have to track. Longer days on the market means more status updates, more agent check-ins, more file management. You've got more contingencies, which means more deadlines to watch, more cancellations, and risks to manage. You've got repair negotiations, so you've got a lot more back and forth going on, more timeline adjustments. Maybe you need to extend, the request for repairs and do an addendum to extend the due diligence, because one missed contingency deadline and the deal gets blown and the buyer walks, or an error on a concession addendum means renegotiation, or even worse, maybe the deal does not close. So this is where smart agents are winning. You've got to price your listings correctly from day one. I know as an agent, you've been telling sellers this over and over and over. Hopefully by now they're starting to understand more how this market is going and that it's not changing right now for how they want. So if you overprice your home, they are sitting on the market 60 plus days. So they need to know that. You need to know which concessions to ask for and in what order. So having a TC who tracks every moving part automatically and using the longer days on the market to your advantage means you can negotiate and not panic. So the agents that are crushing it right now, they're not working harder, they're working smarter. Sure, you've heard that before. And they're spending their time on relationships and deals, not chasing those documents, updating spreadsheets at 10 o'clock at night and all of that type of stuff. That's what your TC should be doing. So your techie TC is your secret weapon right now. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I do to connect everything we just talked about. So once again, more concessions and deals equals more addendums. So my automated system tracks and flags every one of those. Longer transactions means you've got more deadline windows. So boom, my Google App script sends reminders automatically so nothing slips through the cracks. Excuse me. More negotiations means more communication. So I am in that triple text thread letting people know when their documents are sent via AuthentiSign, via DocuSign, wherever they're getting sent from, reminding them to sign documents if they're not signed, just all of that stuff, reminding you as an agent, okay, this timeline is coming up, this addendum got extended, now we've got this coming up, now we need this addendum, have you already done this? I'm always there, and my system is always there reminding me to be there for you. So more negotiations equals more communication and more professional updates to all parties involved. That means escrow needs to get all those updated addendums, and the lender needs to get updated addendums, and maybe you decide to have a post-possession addendum now, so you've got to have that drafted and track that and make sure you have the walkthrough at the end, and then that needs to get uploaded to the system. So more inventory means more active files. My Google Sheet system scales without adding cost or chaos, and here's what it looks like for you as an agent. You go to a listing appointment, you go on the showings, you build relationships. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm running the transaction like an automated machine, and every deadline's tracked, every document is logged, every party's updated, it's on autopilot. So you can close more deals because you're not drowning in paperwork. Your clients have a better experience because nothing falls through the cracks. Your reputation grows because your transactions close clean and on time. And in a market with this much opportunity and this much complexity, that is not a nice thing to have. That's how you scale your business, and something that you must have. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up with the bottom line. 7,400 homes on the market. 34% of sellers are cutting those prices. Concessions in 1 out of every 3 deals. Buyers are winning in Las Vegas right now, which means your buyer clients are in the best position they've been in years, and your listings need to be priced and presented to compete in a market where buyers have real choices. So the agents who thrive in this environment are the ones who have a system, an actual system that's running the transactions so that you can focus on what you do, which is building relationships and closing deals. You build relationships, you close deals. I handle the paperwork and all of the tracking for you. This is what I help you build. I've got that free consultation that you can sign up for in Calendly, just strategizing to assist you, give you some ideas. And if you have any questions, I do have a live chat that's always going on during these, or just reply to one of my videos and ask questions. I had somebody ask the other day what my stack is. I replied to that. I replied to all of your questions and emails, so just let me know. Once again, I am Rochelle Van Duzer with All About Real Estate LV. I'm your techie transaction coordinator here in Las Vegas, and I want you to go get those deals. I want you to not be stressed about getting too many deals. Just go out there, keep marketing, keep doing open houses, keep doing what you do. Let me handle everything in the background. And remember, I'm here every Tuesday, 10:30, same time, same place on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe on YouTube so that you know when I go live. And be sure to ask any questions. I am more than happy to answer them. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. I hope you all had a great 3-day weekend. And that's it for today. Go out there, go get them, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.